What is up guys, my name is Chase and welcome to day 6 of my 7 days of Switchmas. So listen, I know we talk a lot about video games here. We all love sitting down and playing our video games, but it's only fair that we also let the jock of the family play the Nintendo Switch. I don't know how obvious it is, but I am not the target audience for sports games. Today I will be at least trying to talk about some of my favorite sports games for the Nintendo Switch. My first sports game for the Nintendo Switch is actually one that is kind of forgotten. This is ARMS. Talk about a game that I have not heard about in years. I feel like ARMS is one of the forgotten earlier Nintendo Switch games, which is so crazy because I feel like Nintendo was targeting this game as the big competitive multiplayer game for the Switch. Anyway, ARMS is a competitive multiplayer fighting game in which the characters have, you guessed it, arms. Each of the characters have unique abilities and stats. You can switch out different arms, and then you just take it into the ring and battle it out. A lot of the earlier ads and trailers showed this game being used with 2 Joy-Con. You would hold one in each hand and use motion control to punch. So very similar to like boxing on the Wii. And that's fine and all. I'm sure there are people who were able to get good with this game using motion control, but in my opinion where this game actually gets fun is when you use a traditional controller. I got really invested in ARMS back in the day. I would have so much fun going online and battling with other people around the world. Sometimes I would get my butt kicked, but honestly sometimes I would be the one kicking butts. It's a really interesting and unique take on a fighting game. There's a lot of little tricks and controls that you can use while you play, so I feel like if you were to get 2 people really good at ARMS together, it would make for a really intense battle. Also, this game does support up to 4-player game modes, so there's also a really cool multiplayer aspect. But overall, I feel like ARMS is a very beginner-friendly fighting game that has a lot of its own unique charm. For my second sports game for the Nintendo Switch, I'll be talking about, in my opinion, the best Mario sports game that you can get for the Switch right now, and that is Mario Tennis Aces. As much as I talk about not knowing anything about sports, I will say that the Mario sports games are the one exception where I can sometimes get really invested in them. And unfortunately on the Switch, we don't have the best options for Mario sports games. Between tennis, golf, and soccer, I think the Mario Tennis game for the Nintendo Switch is the best one. So if you couldn't already tell, Mario Tennis Aces is a tennis game. You play tennis. However, Mario Tennis Aces also has its own arcadey charm to it. You can do different like ultimate charge shots, which is unique to each character, and that's kind of fun. There's also a pretty cool story mode in this game. It almost feels like a tennis RPG, but you go through and do these little tennis matches, and there are even some boss battles along the way, which is really interesting. And of course there is local and online multiplayer. And I feel like tennis is pretty straightforward to where you can pretty much get anyone together and start playing Mario Tennis Aces. Unfortunately, it does not live up to like the classic Mario Tennis game on the GameCube, but hey, this is one of the better Mario Tennis games we've gotten recently. And honestly, I think it offers the most out of the Mario sports games that we do have on the Switch right now. And finally, for our third sports game for the Nintendo Switch, we have Ring Fit Adventure. Well, now it's time to actually get physical. I think Ring Fit Adventure is one of the most interesting attempts at exercising that Nintendo has ever done. And that is because Ring Fit Adventure actually feels like a video game. Unlike something like Wii Fit, for example, where that really just felt like Nintendo was forcing exercise into mini games, Ring Fit Adventure actually offers a full-on story. There's RPG elements, you battle different enemies and bosses. This exercise game actually focuses on the game part. And listen, I know I'm not the most athletic person ever, but playing this game can definitely make you work up a sweat. Ring Fit Adventure comes with the Ring Con and the leg strap, which makes for very different and interesting type of exercise gameplay. Using the Ring Con, you perform a bunch of different exercises, and it helps you in progressing along the story and the game. This is also one of the few games that actually make use of the Joy-Con's infrared sensor. You place your thumb on the bottom of the IR sensor, and it will actually read your pulse, which is really interesting. So overall, if you're looking for a game that will actually push you in exercising while also still feeling like a traditional video game, I think Ring Fit Adventure does a really good job at that. And that was my best attempt at finding the best sports game for the Nintendo Switch. As someone who barely even knows the concepts of sports, I'm sure I missed a bunch of sports games for the Nintendo Switch. So feel free to let me know in the comments what are your guys' guys' favorite sports games for the Nintendo Switch. If you want to see yesterday's 7 days of Switchmas video, feel free to check it out below. For now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chase, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.